Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing amazing. In today's video, I will be tapping into the energies of the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. So as per usual, the timestamps will be in the description bar below as well as the comments. So let's just get started here. Okay, so starting off with Aries. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so you guys could be thinking of a Cancer. We have the Chariot here. Okay, and then we also have Libra Taurus energy with the Empress. Seems to me that someone is moving towards you or wanting to feel closer here, okay? You could have children of your own, or maybe that is something that the both of you spoke about with the Empress card here. But what I'm seeing here is, moving towards you or wanting to feel closer to you this week. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have the Six of Pentacles, followed by the King of Wands. This could be a very generous act, someone gifting you something this week, but what I see is with the Six of Pentacles being the first card in their feelings, there's definitely a huge emphasis on equal give and take or wanting, reciprocity when it comes to this connection here. So whether it's something began to feel very one-sided, whether it's someone who feels like they're meeting you halfway and they're hoping you guys are on the same page. Okay, and I do see that this is someone who's really attracted to you and there's a lot of passion and they're viewing you as very, very confident. But I think that there's something here that they want to prove to you in terms of how they feel towards you. Because the Six of Pentacles, it's more of a practical energy, right? So even if you are aware of this person's feelings towards you, there's something in particular that they're taking action towards that is going to show you that they're invested or they're wanting to build with you here. Okay. You could have a very carefree nature, Aries, or you kind of like go with the flow when it comes to things, and that could be something that this person admires. Although I do feel like they feel they are the opposite of you, or this is someone who kind of needs like a plan in place, or they're wanting a little more, I don't want to say a little more control in this connection, but they want to know what's going on. So right now they could have a lot of questions, or it could just kind of feel like there's a lot that's up in the air. Okay, so we have the Ten of Cups. So what they want to work towards is a commitment here, okay? But I also am strongly getting, guys, like when this person thinks about their future or, their end-all be-all, you are who comes to mind. And the Ten of Cups is a card of commitment, but it's not an overnight process, right? So this is what this person wants to work towards, and you're going to be seeing an increase in effort from them this week with the Six of Pentacles, like I said, being the first card here. This person could also view you as someone with a lot of responsibilities, or specifically this week, there is a lot on your plate or a lot that you are, taking care of and trying to maintain at once. Four of Cups. Definitely not happy with the current dynamic, and I think it has a lot to do with wanting to feel closer or wanting something more than what you guys currently have. But Four of Cups could also be an energy of like daydreaming, where this person is having visions of the both of you together. There is something that they're picturing, or, there is something that they have in mind, but they're also thinking about how to bring that into, both of your realities. The other thing I will say, guys, with the Four of Cups clarifying the Six of Pentacles is This is someone who's focused on equal give and take, right? They are someone who wants you to meet them halfway. So if there is a lack of effort on one end, that could be something that is causing this person to have cold feet, or it's causing them to feel a little bit doubtful. Because the Four of Cups could also come up in their feelings when they're questioning your feelings towards them or your level of interest, right? And it's not to say that you do not have emotions for this person, but they may be wondering to what extent, right? Does Aries feel as deeply as I do, or are they just, in a different space? Do they feel ready for a commitment as much as I do, or am I moving too quickly? So I do think that they have questions about your emotions and your level of interest here. Okay. The Two of Cups in reverse. So you have someone here who feels like the emotions are not mutual. Whether it's something that you've communicated, whether it's the way that you're acting towards them. Okay. If there is any sort of physical distance, that could be causing this person to kind of question, are we still, feeling connected? And as I opened the spread here, I was intuitively picking up on someone who wants to feel closer to you. And the Two of Cups in reverse could be, does Aries really feel the same way? Are we on the same page? Because upright, that card touches on mutual emotions. So it's coming out after the Four of Cups. So I definitely feel like this is someone who is feeling a little bit insecure, or it's just questioning your emotions and feeling like, I don't know if we're on the same page. Okay, so we have the Page of Swords. I think there's a lot of spying going on. This could even be someone who is keeping tabs on you and trying to figure you out, but not directly through you. The other thing I will say here, guys, is like they're trying not to move too fast. It almost seems to me that they're seeking some sort of clarity before fully opening up to you. And it's interesting because I see someone who wants to prove how they feel towards you, but when it comes to how you view them, or, your emotions towards them, there's a lot of uncertainty here. There could even be something in particular that you communicated or that you did that is making this person feel like, I don't know if Aries feels as connected to me as I do to them. For example, if there was a separation here, or there was a period where the communication wasn't as consistent between the both of you, that could be the very thing that's raising questions. The Page of Pentacles. Definitely see conversations between you and this person. You could be conversing with them as you're watching my read. And the Page of Pentacles is usually a small offer that has a lot of potential to turn into something larger. There could also be an age gap in this connection. Three of Wands in reverse. And we have the Page of Cups. So 3 pages here. So I do see a lot of back and forth communication. It may be something that starts off lighthearted, but I will say what they're trying to get to the bottom of is how you feel towards them and if you still feel as connected as you once did. Because the Three of Wands in reverse is also someone who's having a hard time seeing, what's ahead or what the future holds. It could also be, uprighted as a card of planning, right? So it could be that a waiting game has come to an end and the both of you are communicating, but they don't really have a plan in mind. And and if you guys remember a few minutes ago, I mentioned that in their energy, it's someone who wants to have a plan or they want to know what's going on. So I do see a conversation about trying to figure you out and your emotions to sum up their feelings here. I think they want to express how they feel towards you more than express they want to prove it to you with the Pentacle energy. They do have a commitment on their mind, but I think that they're very doubtful when it comes to how you view them or how you are feeling towards them in the current moment. Whether it's because there was a separation in the past, or maybe you guys grew apart, or the communication is not, or, there was a period where it wasn't as consistent, it is raising a lot of questions for this person. And they're hoping that the emotions between the both of you are mutual. It could also be a strong energy of wanting to pick back up where you guys left off, but questioning if that's actually a realistic approach. We left off here and I want to pick back up and I want to connect with Aries, but do they want the same thing? Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, let's see. Person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Let's see. Okay, guys, so we have the Four of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, and we have the Queen of Wands. Some of you could be inquiring about someone that you're currently not speaking to. Okay, so it could be a no contact situation, or the conversations that you guys are having could be very surface level with the Four of Swords. But with the Queen of Wands here, I do see it as someone who is heavily fixated on you this week. There is a lot of attraction, there's a lot of passion here. But it seems to me that they're feeling connected to you, but there's something here where there could be a bit of an avoidant energy, or there's something in particular that they're refraining from thinking about, like pushing it to the back burner, or kind of trying to numb their emotions about a specific event here. And I see someone who's, heavily thinking about you, but there's a level of silence. So for some of you, it's not that you're not speaking to this person at all, but there are certain things that the both of you are thinking about that are not being communicated. Okay, how does this person feel about Taurus? Okay. The Ace of Wands, okay, followed by the Temperance. Okay. Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius. But we have the Temperance in reverse here, which is interesting. Okay, so Taurus, what I see here is someone, okay, first and foremost, there's a lot of passion. There could be something that feels very fiery or intense between the both of you. So when this person is with you, they could feel like what they were planning to communicate, or a plan that they had in mind, it never really goes according to plan. It's more like going with the flow. Okay, I do see someone who's very attracted to you, attracted to your confidence here. But with the Temperance in reverse, there's a lack of balance in this situation. Whether it's a lack of equal give and take, or this is someone who could view the situation as when it's going smooth, it's great, but then when there's a hiccup, it's kind of like downhill from there. So what they're wanting is to restore some sort of balance in this connection. And the Temperance upright, guys, it does touch on a spiritual lesson or something that is being presented to you in your journey so that you could overcome it. So in reverse, it could be someone who's in a state of denial, or there's some sort of a persistent sign that is being illuminated to them, but they're having a hard time accepting that sign. There's a lesson here that they're not acknowledging, is the best way for me to put it. But initially what I was getting is someone who feels like there's a lack of balance here, or something could have began to feel very, very one-sided between the both of you. This week, they don't feel at peace when they're thinking of you, Taurus, or when they're thinking about this connection. There's definitely, the fact that there's a lack of balance is causing them to feel uneasy. We have the Knight of Wands. It could also be the inconsistency in this connection here. Here's what I see, Taurus. This person feels like they came in hot and heavy and things took off very quickly between the both of you, but they feel like things ended just as quickly. The energy that the both of you, experienced in the beginning is something that this person feels like they were not able to maintain, or it was something that only lasted for a very, like a short period of time. And the Knight of Wands, again, it is passionate. It is someone who's rushing towards you, but the Knights in the deck are not the most consistent energy. So it could be very in and out. This could be someone who feels like they should have thought about something thoroughly. Or this could even be an energy of feeling like I acted too soon, or I spoke too soon. I should have taken my time with this connection. And I do see an urgency to speak to you, but there's a lack of stability in their personal life, or their approach doesn't seem the most stable, at least not, in the current energy. So the Ace of Wands is being clarified by the Six of Wands. There's something in particular that they're doing this week to grab your attention. If you see this person on a daily basis, they're, sparking a conversation with you. This could even be through social media. They're maybe hinting something at you. But I do see that they're wanting your attention, and they're very determined to come forward here. But I will say that this could be a connection where It feels like when this person is pouring into you, you kind of could even feel bombarded by so many thoughts and so many emotions, because it is an energy that's coming in very hot and heavy. But you may also feel like they become very withdrawn, or that energy does not last. And that's a persistent energy, or a persistent message that I'm receiving here. Right. So this person could come in and communicate with you and make you feel on top of the world, but that is not an energy that they were able to maintain in the past. And that's something that you're aware of as well. With the temperance in reverse, they could even feel like there's like a misunderstanding between the both of you, or the both of you are on two different pages. You guys are not on the same page. Okay. Six of Wands could also be someone who is in the public eye, someone who receives a lot of attention. Hmm. I'm also strongly getting here, guys, with the World card, this person is acknowledging why things came to an end, right? The World card is clarifying the temperance, which is in reverse. Knowing that there was a lack of equal give and take, knowing that there was something in this connection that it was temporarily stable. It wasn't something that they were able to maintain. So I do see that coming up here. But there could also be physical distance between the both of you. For example, if this person had to, travel for work, or if they had to relocate for other reasons here, it could have caused an emotional gap between the both of you as well. And when I look at this image, it's giving me almost like, I don't want to say a burdensome energy, but something could have became, or it could have become very heavy to hold on to. It could have turned into something that was very overwhelming, even if it didn't initially feel that way. We have the Ten of Pentacles. So they want things to feel more stable between the both of you. But I also feel like with the World card and the Ten of Pentacles, that could be some sort of closure that they're receiving in another situation, or a cycle that's coming to an end for them. And the Ten of Pentacles is clarifying the Knight of Wands. So what this person was wanting with you, or what they were telling you, was very different from what they were showing you. Because the Knight of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, two very different energies. And the Ten of Pentacles is clarifying that energy. So you may feel like this is someone who's very charming, very good with their words, and they told you that they were wanting to work towards a commitment, but their actions may have been telling you otherwise, because it's a very inconsistent energy that wants stability. Or there could be something else in their life, like I said, that needed to come to an end with the World card in order for the both of you to get something off the ground here. Seven of Swords. I feel like this person is acknowledging that they were not completely transparent with you throughout the course of this bond. Seven of Swords could be some sort of dishonesty that they're wanting to open up about. But for others of you, the Seven of Swords could also be a card of suspicion, like suspecting that something is happening, or wondering something about you and jumping to conclusions. And again, it doesn't mean that what they're thinking is the truth, but I do see that, in the energy here. Seven of Swords, clarifying the Six of Wands, could be someone who feels like they fell into temptation, or they were receiving attention from multiple sources. So they were connecting with you, but they were also, maybe there was other people in the picture, or they were keeping their options open. And they do feel bad about it, because it's coming out here. It's giving me a very strong energy of, I was not transparent with Taurus. There are certain things that I did not tell Taurus that were going on behind the scenes. This card could be read as a guilty conscience also. Four of Wands, and what's the Ten of Pentacles? The Ten of Wands. Definitely an ending taking place for them. And I feel like with the Ten of Wands, the tens in general, they speak about completion, but the Ten of Wands in particular is usually completion after a very, like a very draining energy, something that feels very, very burdensome, right? So it could be that this person feels like they weren't able to follow through on the promises that they've made you, or it could be another situation in their life that was absolutely draining them. And I do see that there is an energy of, wanting to reconcile here, but I think that there's more of an urgency to just communicate with you with that Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, and the Ace of Wands. They do have reconciliation on their mind, but I think that this person, like the first goal is, I want to actually have a conversation with Taurus. The Ten of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles, they may want to, they do have commitment on their mind, but they know that it's going to take a lot of work, because the Ten of Wands could also be read as a card of, there's a lot of work to do to attain something that you want, or that it's not going to be a walk in the park. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Gemini. Okay, Gemini. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups and the Six of Wands. Definitely see this as an incoming offer. I could read it as like an emotional confession here as well, like someone who's opening up to you emotionally, telling you how they feel about you. And the Six of Wands is usually a card of like someone showering you with attention, or there could be something in particular that they're doing or saying that is grabbing your attention this week. Okay, how is this person feeling about Gemini? Okay. The Knight of Wands, the Seven of Swords. There could be something that feels a bit inconsistent to this person about this connection. Or it could be someone who's very determined to, interact with you, and there's a lot of passion here, but there could also be a lack of transparency, or something feels like it's hidden or in the unknown. And I will say, guys, like with the Seven of Swords, that could even be someone who has a guilty conscience. So they're coming towards you, but there could be something here that they know they were not transparent about, something here that they know they did not take accountability for. The other way that I could read this is someone who is suspicious of you, because this card is also a card of, suspicion. So they could be assuming something about you or trying to figure you out, but because they're not being, or because it's not the most direct energy, it could be that, they're jumping to conclusions here. So what they're thinking doesn't have to be the truth, but I do see a bit of a suspicious energy. Six of Cups. So this is someone of your past. And I'm strongly getting here that they're viewing you as, I have a lot of history with Gemini. I still feel very connected to them. But in traditional tarot, the Six of Cups touches on, like a past lover returning, but, not truly or not accepting them back into your life for a reason. So for some of you, this person is returning. You could even be conversing with them as you're watching my read, but there could be something that you just don't trust about this person. There could be a lack of trust in this situation, even if it's on both ends. And I do see that this person feels very, very connected to you, but something that I'm feeling drawn to is in the Six of Cups, they're wearing masks here. So there's something here that they're still not telling you. Even if you're aware of what this person was dishonest about, I think that they're struggling to take accountability for that very thing. Definitely missing you and feeling very nostalgic with the Six of Cups. That could be someone who's like taking a trip down memory lane, right? Revisiting past memories that you guys have shared together. Seven of Wands, missing you, but still feeling very defensive. So do I see that it's someone who wants to, come back around and connect with you? Yes. Do I see it as someone who still feels very passionate about you? Absolutely. But I think with the Seven of Wands, there's a very defensive energy of either A, not wanting to own up to something, or B, it's a strong energy of I want to reconnect with you, but there are certain things that I just, want to sweep under the rug. I want to leave the past in the past. So if, you're wanting to leave the past in the past, of course, that would be something that you feel like is working out in your favor. But for those of you that want to communicate about some form of dishonesty, it could be something that kind of upsets you or causes frustration here. I'm also strongly getting with the Seven of Wands, that could be standing your ground. So there's something here that the both of you are not seeing eye to eye on. The way that the way that an event played out could appear differently to you in comparison to how it's, how they're, or how they're remembering it, if I explain that correctly, right? And so it's an energy of I am going to stand by what I said. So there's even a little bit of a stubborn energy here. right? It could be, yeah, we are not agreeing, but I'm not willing to agree just for the sake of agreeing. So there could be something that resurfaces where the both of you have an entirely different opinion on it. But I'm specifically getting an event that the both of you have gone through that is pertaining to dishonesty here. You are seeing it differently than how this person is seeing it. Okay. Three of Wands in reverse. Not really sure what the future holds when it comes to this connection. Feeling like there's a lot of uncertainty because the Three of Wands upright, guys, like it could be a card of, or it is a card of planning. So in reverse, it could be an energy of, I don't really know where this is headed, or I don't really have a plan in mind. The pro is with the Three of Wands in reverse, a waiting game is coming to an end. So for those of you that wanted to hear from this person or you wanted to see some sort of progress, I do see you're receiving that. It may not be exactly how you wanted it to be, or it's reconnecting with someone, but maybe what feels or what's causing you to feel uneasy is certain things are not being addressed. And I do see someone opening up to you, but there's still a guard here or a very defensive energy when it comes to certain things they don't want to, touch on. The Fool card. Yeah. You have someone who just wants to turn over a new leaf. So again, it's all about perspective. If that's what you want, then you guys are on the same page. But if you're still thinking about something that is causing you to feel uneasy or some form of dishonesty, I don't see that in the cards this person is ready to address that. It's almost like they feel an urgency to move or detach from the past and have a new beginning here. And you may find that this is someone who is easily agitated when there are certain things that are brought up that they don't feel ready to discuss or they don't want to discuss. And I don't want to say that they're not acknowledging the dishonesty or the hurt that has occurred between the both of you in the past, but I think that because they're hurt by it, because they're frustrated, they really want to move past it, right? I think that is how this person operates. With some people, right, generically speaking, it helps for them to communicate and speak about things. For others, it's almost like I don't want to speak about it and I want to move on from it because the more that I, think about it and feel consumed by it, I feel like I'm, going down some sort of a rabbit hole. Rabbit hole. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. Some of you could be dealing with the Leo. What's interesting here, guys, is like this person has a lot of, or their emotions are very deep and intense, but they could also be very withdrawn, or they have been for quite some time. Do I see that this person wants to invest in you and have a new start? Yes, but I will say, guys, a persistent message is there are just certain things that they're not willing to speak about. So when they come in to communicate with you, or if you're conversing with them right now, you may find that A, either they're kind of on edge, okay, or B, it's a very defensive energy where maybe there's something that you're bringing up and you feel like they're just like, I do not want to speak about this. Ace of Wands. So there's potential for a new beginning here, but it would require the both of you to leave the past in the past. Even when it comes to discussing the past, I think that is something that could raise some sort of, negative emotions within this person. And the reason I'm saying that, Gemini, is this is their feelings, right? Not yours. But I'm strongly getting someone who's almost in like an avoidant energy, or I do not want to speak about that. I want to reconnect, but I want to leave the past in the past. And it's a very strong energy as well. So it could be that they are triggered by the past, right? Or they are not proud of something that they've done, but speaking about it is only upsetting them more, is what I see. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Cancer. Okay, Cancer. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the King of Cups on the bottom of the deck. We have the Hierophant as well. Some of you could be dealing with the Taurus or another water sign like yourself, so Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Some of you could be, thinking of someone who's very traditional, or there's some sort of differences pertaining to, like the lifestyles in this connection. So, like the way that maybe your lifestyle is very different from theirs, or it could even be what you believe in, like your belief system, your, core values could really differ from this person's, okay? Okay. Let's see. King of Cups and the Hierophant. Definitely feel like someone is wanting to take the next step here, or at least feeling ready for some sort of elevation in this connection. How is this person currently feeling about Cancer? And I could also read it as someone who is thinking of you, but there is another commitment in their life or a situation that they feel entitled to, because the Hierophant could refer to a committed individual. Okay. So we have the Six of Cups, followed by, okay. So what I'm seeing here, guys, with the Emperor and the Six of Cups is someone who is, very focused on you, okay? But I will say that this is someone with a lot of responsibilities. It could even be an individual who's in, a position of authority here. It could also be, the Emperor could also be read as like a father figure. So the responsibilities that I'm picking up on could be that this person has children of their own. Now, I'm sensing that they're missing you. They're feeling very nostalgic here. They're wanting to return to you, with the Six of Cups being the first card in their feelings. But there's a level of control that they're seeking in this connection. So whether it's they feel like opening up emotionally is, a sign of weakness, or they're wanting to connect with you, but they're wanting something to work out in a specific manner. They're struggling with releasing some sort of control. This could be a week where this person is very hard to read, or it's someone who doesn't really wear their emotions on their sleeve. So even if you feel that they're tugging on your energy, or, they are still, feeling deeply towards you or missing you, I think that this person actually struggles with showing, their emotions towards you. It's something that they suppress, or they only open up to an extent here. And I'm strongly getting, guys, like this could even be someone who has some sort of an image to maintain, where they feel like they have a soft spot for you, or you have access to a side of them that no one else does. Seven of Cups. They're feeling very confused when it comes to this situation here, Cancer. This could be someone who is viewing you as an individual with a lot of options, or it's visible to them that you're keeping your options open, right? You're not putting all your eggs in one basket. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. And yes, the Seven of Cups could speak about options, or someone who feels confused, but they feel like the connection between the both of you, there are constant mixed signals, where maybe some days they feel like they have it figured out, and other days they're just left wondering. So they're definitely, needless to say, they're definitely seeking clarity, from you, and where you stand here. And they're very confused about the past as well. So the way that things transpired, or the way that things were, or where you guys left off, they have a lot of questions. Because when they think about past, their past relationships or past lovers, you are who comes to mind. But I think that you are someone that they still think about, because there's a bunch of questions that they feel like that went unanswered, or there's still a level of confusion. And that level of confusion is the reason why this person feels like they can't really detach or let go of you so easily here. King of Pentacles. A very stable energy. I do feel like this is someone who could be hyper focused on their finances, their career. And they may feel like for, most of their energy, went into creating a life that they wanted for themselves. This could be someone, like I said, very focused on finances, or, building some sort of an empire for themselves. But connecting with you has highlighted what they were missing out on, which is, this very deep love, or deep emotions. And I'm not saying that this person avoided relationships all, in their entire life or anything like that, but there is a very different side to them that only you were able to, reveal, or that's you're the only person that they've felt that they could show this side to. This could be someone who feels like they are usually very, very focused, right? And they only pay attention to, their stability, or things that that are progressing for them. But there's something about you that feels very irreplaceable, or this is a week where you're weighing very heavily on their mind. We have the Queen of Cups in reverse. So they're questioning your emotions towards them. They don't feel like they have access to the nurturing and empathetic side of you. They may feel like you were very nurturing in the past, and you were, sympathizing with their, situation, or you were understanding towards them, but they feel like they're starting to see another side of you where you are not as invested. You don't care as much as you used to. It's also like a void that they feel. Like when you were investing in this person, they feel like there was a very warm energy surrounding them. They felt very loved, that you could be someone that was, catering to their, needs and etc. But then when you withdraw that energy, of course, because it's so powerful, it's something that they're feeling. So yes, they're feeling a void, a very empty, strong feeling coming through here. Four of Wands. Wanting to, come back around. Four of Wands is a card of reconciliation, but it could also be someone who has some form of good news that they want to share with you. It's a card of milestones. So when this person thinks about, milestones or certain goals that they're attaining, they want to be able to share it with you, but they're not able to do that in the current moment. Now, I will say, Cancer, with the Queen of Cups in reverse, there could be like a lack of emotional balance, or there could have been a lack of emotional balance in the past here. They may feel like either you were very upset about something, or it's almost like looking at a situation and feeling like it could have been handled differently. For some of you, this person feels like as they were connecting with you, there was something else that you were going through where you weren't able to emotionally give to this situation, as much as they wanted you to. And they're viewing you as someone who feels very overwhelmed and drained, where you're not wanting to emotionally invest in the situation in the current moment. Like they're viewing you as someone who has a lot of love to give, but they're also viewing you as currently not being in the position to want to do that. Four of Swords. So there could be a level of silence between the both of you, okay? Or it could be that even if you guys are conversing, it's very surface level. But I'm strongly getting someone who thinks about you quite a bit here, specifically at night. I also see here, guys, that, of course, some of you could be dealing with the Virgo, but there's a lot that this person is learning about you. There's a lot that's being illuminated to them about you, about the, connection, about themselves. This is a card of wisdom, the Hermit. And it could be someone who's in a period of solitude, feeling like the journey that they're currently, going through feels very dark. It feels very, lonely. But the lantern is symbolic for some sort of information or wisdom that you're gaining. And losing you or not having access to you it's almost like someone feels their life is very dark without you. Or like I mentioned a few minutes ago, there's like a very warm energy that surrounds them while you're connecting with them. But when you withdraw that energy, it's like it feels very dark and cold. So they are feeling very alone here. Nine of Cups. Yeah, feeling like, the energy that you exude is irreplaceable. How you make them feel is something that they're still thinking of. Matter of fact, I think they want to feel that way again. Because Nine of Cups is someone viewing you as, wish fulfillment. It's someone who feels like you make them very, very happy, or they are the most content while they are connecting with you. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Leo. Okay, Leo. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Fool card on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Temperance in reverse. Some of you could be thinking of a Sagittarius. Huh. This is someone who feels like there is a lack of balance, okay, in this um, connection here, or they could feel emotion like there's a lack of balance emotionally. So like they could feel like they're feeling a bunch of different emotions at once, or there's something here that they feel very, or an emotion that they feel very consumed by. With the Fool card and the Temperance in reverse, I strongly feel like this person is reevaluating a very impulsive decision that was made in the past. There could be some sort of a decision that made sense to them, okay, in the past, but in the now they're questioning it, or it doesn't seem like they made the right decision. That's what's impacting them mentally. So let's see. How is this person feeling about Leo? Okay, so we have the Eight of Pentacles followed by the Eight of Wands. You definitely have someone here who wants to work something out with you or come to a mutual agreement. With the Eight of Pentacles, I do see it as practical effort or proving something to you. And Eight of Wands is a card of communication. But it could also be communication from someone who's at a distance from you. Or like I said, it could be emotional distance that I'm picking up on. Now, I'm intuitively picking up on someone who feels like they're walking on eggshells, or they only have one chance to get something right. Right? Whether it's something that you've communicated to them, or they're viewing you in like a very overwhelmed or drained energy, where it's like, I want to reconnect with Leo, but I want to say the right thing. I want to execute this in the correct way. And you guys could be seeing double or triple eights, but they feel like the love that they have for you, it's something that is going to last forever. They are acknowledging that there has been ups and downs, or there's a lack of balance in the current dynamic, but they're not wanting to give up on it. And the word forever is coming up because I am, with the number 8, when you turn it horizontally, it is the infinity sign, and it's giving me an energy of like forever, or feeling like, despite what Leo and I have gone through, I feel like this is destined to be, or I really want to work on this. I see someone who's very determined and they're not wanting to give up. The Knight of Wands. Yeah, they feel like they acted too soon, or a decision that they made in the past, it felt like it was the right thing to do. But in the now, they're questioning it and they're reevaluating it. Kind of like, if I made the right decision, why do I keep thinking about it? Why do I keep going back to it and feeling like there's something there that doesn't feel right? Knight of Wands could be a very like fast-moving energy, especially coming out with the Eight of Wands. So it could be that this person is reaching out to you and you're not expecting this at all whatsoever. It could also be someone who feels an urgency to communicate with you, whether it's they feel like they're, running out of time, or things have been at a standstill between the both of you for quite some time, where they feel like if they don't take any action in the now, then it's going to be a missed opportunity. But I do see them taking their communication very seriously and wanting something to happen or wanting something to progress very quickly between the both of you. Okay, so we have the 10 of Wands. And what's the 8 of Wands? Lovers. Okay, some of you could be dealing with a Gemini. But I'm strongly getting, guys, like, there is a choice to be made, right? But even though there's a choice to be made in the current... Okay, I want to explain this without it sounding confusing. Okay, so this person feels like there is a choice to be made in the current moment, but it is also a choice that was already made. So it's almost like a decision that was made. They're thinking about it in the now. They're reevaluating it, and their decision has changed. They're seeing it differently. It could even be they're viewing a past decision as wrong, and they're wanting to make something up to you. The Lovers is all about choices, but it also touches on someone who's viewing you as their soulmate, feeling like this is not someone that I can just let go of. This is someone that I'm constantly reminded of, so I want to do what I can to try and fix it. The Ten of Wands is usually completion after something feeling very heavy or burdensome. It's also, that card also touches on when there's a lot of work to do, or what you're desiring is not going to be a walk in the park. So they understand that this is not going to be an overnight process. They may even feel like regaining your trust or coming to a mutual agreement is not going to be easy. But they're still willing to try, is what I'm sensing here. I'm hearing Greece. Okay, I don't know why I'm hearing Greece. Maybe some of you are watching my videos from there, but yeah, that is coming up here. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. And what's interesting here, guys, is like, not only do you have someone who wants to, take the past and kind of just leave it there and move forward, they're actually wanting to address why they or how they were viewing you or the situation in the past, and they're hoping that they could turn over a new leaf here. But really what I'm getting as a persistent message is, I felt like I made the right decision, but I did not. For example, if this is someone who is, choosing to focus on themselves, or they felt like being on their own would be easier, they feel like that was not the easy thing to do, because as they were on their own, they were still reminded of you or thinking about this connection with you. There could also be something that this person has gone through where they're in the process of grieving. And that could be something that they're confiding in you about. But they feel like the ending between the both of you was very hurtful. But in the now, they're wanting to change their decision or make a different choice. And with the Knight of Wands, they definitely feel like they did something impulsively, or they should have thought about that decision more thoroughly. For example, if you and this person were in a disagreement, they may feel like they made a decision to detach because they were angry. But once the anger, faded, or they were able to come out of that period of frustration, they started to realize, okay, I still feel connected to Leo, and I just kind of made that decision in the spur of the moment, and I now regret it. Queen of Cups in reverse. Here's what I will say, Leo. This person feels, or they're having a hard time believing, that you are going to sympathize with them. They may feel like you're frustrated, okay? Or they feel like there's something to do with your emotions, that like where your emotions have changed. Like, yes, I'm going to open up to Leo, I'm going to express myself, but I highly doubt that Leo is going to be welcoming to that, or they're still frustrated with me. The Queen of Cups in reverse could also be someone who feels like there was a lack of understanding between the both of you in the past, specifically when it comes to the emotional department. They could feel like they misunderstood something about you, or they weren't taking your emotions into consideration, because the Queen of Cups in reverse could be someone who is, doing something a little bit selfishly, or they're only looking out for themselves. They're not being considerate of those around them. The Queen of Cups upright, guys, also touches on like listening to your heart or your gut. So this person could feel like they ignored a sign that they were receiving about you, and they no longer want to do that. The Hermit, some of you could be dealing with a Virgo. So this person feels like they needed time apart to see things clearly. This person may even feel like they needed to be on their own to truly figure out what they wanted when it comes to, connections or their love life. The World card. So what I see is a shift. If there's physical distance between the both of you, there could be travel plans, or someone who's quite literally trying to physically relocate. But what they want is to leave the past in the past, and they want to make a decision that feels right in the now. And I do feel like this person wants to tell you or confide in you about some sort of regret that they feel when it comes to acting, on a decision or making a decision too soon. And with the Ten of Wands in the World card, there could be a very heavy energy associated with this connection. And they are viewing this as, okay, it's going to be difficult. It's not going to be a walk in the park. And I can't expect Leo to sympathize with me or have an understanding, because I know there's still some sort of hurt or anger that they're holding on to. So I do see they're being realistic about it. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, you guys could be thinking of a Scorpio with the Death card. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. You know, Virgo, I'm getting an oddly specific message here. Like, I'm sensing someone who really wants to work something out with you or come to a mutual agreement here, but there's some sort of shame or guilt where it's like, you know, I could even be picking up on someone who's operating from a space of ego or pride, but I'm getting like someone who desperately actually wants to work something out with you, but they're refraining from doing so. There's resistance here. And with the Death card, it could be, you know, a strong energy of, well, things have changed between Virgo and I do want to reconnect or I want to work something out, but I don't really know if that's realistic. But it's like really wanting to come to some sort of a mutual agreement, but refraining from doing that, almost like a very held back energy, or picking up the phone to call or text you and then saying, no, 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 I'm not going to do it. Yeah, a lot of resistance here. Okay. How is this person feeling about Virgo? The World card. You have someone who is facing an internal battle. That's the best way for me to boil down this energy. Like, is it over or is it not? I mean, it seems like it's over for Virgo, but it's not over for me in my mind and emotionally. I want to work something out, but I'm not going to work something out. Like, that's really the energy that's coming through here. There could be a little bit of push and pull kind of energy, or it's like someone who wants to work something out with you, but they're fearing rejection. They're fearing that you're not wanting the same thing. So it's like, okay, I really should let this go because it's over, but it's still not over for me emotionally. Okay, a little bit of a contradicting energy here. Also a lot of emotions at once for this person this week. Eight of Pentacles, okay. And the Nine of Swords. So this person is stressed out or feeling very anxious about this connection this week, Virgo, because they're thinking about what the both of you could have had together. They're viewing you in a very stable energy, but also someone who knows what you want. Whether it's you communicated what you wanted and what you were working towards in this connection, but I do feel like they're viewing you in a very like straightforward energy. You know, Virgo was always very clear about what they wanted. I do feel like I could have had something very stable with Virgo, but Nine of Swords is like when you're up in your mind about a situation. It could be when you're very worried, stressed out, feeling very anxious, like I mentioned. And they're not feeling like themselves this week. They're feeling very consumed by thoughts of you. Nine of Swords could even be like, you know, loss of sleep or appetite. The Five of Swords. Feeling very mentally conflicted, where it's quite literally causing them to face or have difficulty focusing on their day-to-day tasks here. They feel very, very consumed by thoughts of you. And Nine of Swords and the Five of Swords, guys, like it could be a bit of a tough energy, because that's usually when you're thinking about a situation, you don't agree with it, but there's still some sort of anger or frustration that you're holding on to or revisiting. So it is, you know, causing that resistance here, where it's like, yes, they're feeling conflicted, but because they're still feeling upset or frustrated, they're kind of just stuck in their thoughts. And I think this is why I was getting a strong energy of, you know, someone who wants to work something out with you, but they're refraining from doing so. Like it could be someone who's really missing you, but there's something here that they're still pretty upset about, or they feel like something is not going to work out the way that they want it to. Needless to say, guys, like this is someone who's definitely facing an internal battle when it comes to you and the connection with you this week. The Eight of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Swords. This person is viewing you as someone who may take a while to make a decision, but once you make the decision, there's no turning around. The reason I say that is they're viewing you in the Queen of Swords energy, which is, okay, Virgo and I, there's been an ending, or Virgo has cut ties with me. But the Queen of Swords is also a very like clear cut and truthful energy. So I feel like you either expressed your truth to this person, or there's something that you have communicated where they're not really sure how to reverse the effects of that or come back from that, because they're viewing you as, your back is turned towards the situation. Virgo is at the point of no return. And is it upsetting for them? Yes. Is it causing them to feel very anxious? Absolutely. But I think there's still, a bit of a stubborn energy, or it's someone who's like, I don't want to open up though, or I don't want to be the one to, initiate the conversation because I have a right to be mad too. Or there's, again, some sort of like a level of frustration or anger that is, that they're still holding on to. And that's, what's impacting them mentally with the swords energy. Nine of Cups. Clarifying the Nine of Swords. This person may feel like, their intentions were, selfish in the past, or there's something here that they have done where they were not really taking your emotions into consideration. And what's interesting, guys, is like, yes, they're conflicted and they're upset, but this boils down to someone who feels like you do make them very happy. They are viewing you as wish fulfillment. That's why they're bothered by it. If it's someone who felt like, what, Virgo does not make me happy and I do not feel connected to them, then it would be easier to move on. But I think the reason they're still thinking of you quite a bit this week is because they feel like you are who makes them very happy. So as much as there's anger and frustration beneath that, it's still stemming from a space of, I have emotions for Virgo, and that's not something that I could just let go of or get over as quickly as I want to. But with the Nine of Cups, I do feel like they are viewing the situations either I was only looking out for myself, or I should have been more considerate about Virgo's emotions when I had the opportunity to do so, or be concerned or be more considerate. Queen of Wands. What's the Queen of Swords? The Knight of Cups. This person could feel like they owe you an apology, or they really want to have a heart-to-heart conversation here. And the Queen of Wands clarifying the Five of Swords, guys, is like, they want your attention. They want to speak to you. They want to reconnect, right? But there may be a promise that they made to themselves, or they feel like they need to stand by something that they've said and communicated to you. So it's like what they want to do versus what's going on for them internally, it's very different. And then on top of that, what I see is someone who's like talking themselves out of, coming to a mutual agreement, or there's a very resistant energy here. Like there's a lot of resistance. What's the Nine of Cups? Yeah. A lot of suppressed emotion. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. Illusions. Something could feel like something about this connection, they could feel like there's some sort of mystery associated with it. And I do feel, guys, like they're very confused about what the future holds. I do feel like there's a level of fear of when it comes to, am I going to be able to reconnect with Virgo? But the block that I see is someone who's suppressing their emotions, and they're thinking about you quite a bit, but not wanting to come forward. Queen of Wands. Yeah. King of Cups. Yeah. This is a strong, some of you could be dealing with the Libra, but this is a strong energy of, this situation did not end the way that I thought it would. Things transpired between the both of us where it doesn't feel fair. But I'm also getting a strong energy of dishonesty, right? Someone who feels like I didn't handle a situation the best way that I could have. And they still feel like there's a lack of balance and something about the situation doesn't feel fair, but they're keeping it to themselves. So this week I see someone who's very, thinking about you and impacted by this connection mentally and emotionally, but they're refraining from doing something about it. And it's stemming from a space of anger and frustration. Yes, I'm thinking about Virgo. Yes, I miss Virgo, but I'm still mad about said thing, or I don't want to be the one to, reach out. For others of you with the Nine of Swords and Five of Swords, that could be when you're overanalyzing, overthinking a situation where you're talking yourself out of actually taking action. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys this week. Moving on to Libra. Okay, Libra, let's see. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay. So we have the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Okay. So what I see here, guys, is some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, okay, or a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I'm strongly getting here, guys, that like this is someone, okay, who is thinking about you very heavily, but there's a very strong energy of something feeling very forbidden about this connection, A, or B, feeling like they're dreaming or envisioning something with you that they can't actually attain or have. A lot of obsessive thinking, I will say that, but something either feels forbidden or it could even touch on like, toxic habits or cycles that have impacted this connection. But what I was initially getting is someone who feels like they have a deep desire for you or to connect with you, but they're not in a position to do so, or something feels forbidden, like I mentioned. So let's see here. How is this person feeling about Libra? This person is highly attracted to you, and there could even be something that feels very tempting about this connection or about you, like, or they could just be viewing you as temptation. But I do see that there's something that they're battling or more that's going on behind the scenes in their environment that they're not really opening up about or showing you. Okay. The Two of Cups in reverse. The Five of Wands. Okay, this is very specific, guys. I don't feel like it's going to, like, this is a very, very specific message with the Two of Cups in reverse and the Five of Wands. This is someone who's currently in a situation where they're not satisfied, where they're not happy. It could be a situation where there's a lot of drama. It could be a situation where there's a lot of chaos. But they do feel like there's a block when it comes to, connecting with you. They have deep emotions for you, but they feel like they can't express those emotions the way that they want to. They can't act on those emotions because of a situation that they're currently in. The Five of Wands, it could be another lover. It could be, their family or friends. But I'm strongly getting someone who is not happy, but they are in another connection. And that's the reason why something with you could feel very forbidden, feeling like I know I should not have these feelings, but I can't help how I feel. This person could also be in a situation for reasons other than, feeling emotionally connected, because there's the emotions are not mutual there. But it could be connected to someone through assets, or it could be, another reason. But what I see is someone who's unhappy in a connection and thinking of you. Five of Wands, there could be someone in their life that is causing chaos or drama for them in the current moment. And they're like, how do I come out of this? How do I, put this to an end? And there's a strong energy of them feeling very powerless about a situation that has been ongoing. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo. So this is someone who's currently withdrawn. They're trying to keep it together. There's a lot that they're going through, a lot of different emotions that they're feeling, but they're trying to handle it all on their own. There's a side of their life that they don't want to show you, or they're hoping it's not visible to you. It could be someone who appears to have it all together on the outside or on the external, but internally or behind the scenes, there's a lot going on here. This person could also feel like connecting with you is going to cause some sort of a major conflict in their personal life. Okay. King of Swords. Yeah, I mean, this person is aware that they would need to cut ties with another situation or another person in order to connect with you. And for some of you, they could even be in the process of doing that. But what I see is this process feels very like something is, there's delays here, okay? Or it feels like it's not progressing as quickly as they want it to. I'm also intuitively picking up on Libra where someone wants you to know that, well, not only how they feel towards you, but they want to bring you clarity on why they're still involved in a situation. But I also see them kind of withdrawing or refraining from doing that with the Strength card. It's almost like I want to handle this on my own and then move towards Libra, or I don't want to bring Libra into this toxic environment with the Five of Wands. Three of Wands. They don't know what the future holds. It could, the Three of Wands in reverse. This person could also feel like they're in a situation where they're trying to cut ties because they don't see a future in that situation. And as much as, you clicked on this reading for their feelings towards you, I think that there's some sort of drama that they're trying to work through this week. I do see that they have emotions for you, but they're not allowing themselves to fully feel those emotions. Why? Because they feel like they can't act on it. They feel like they can't authentically express their emotions to you or act on these emotions until they're out of a situation. So there could be silence between the both of you. Okay, the High Priestess could also be symbolic for some form of telepathic communication. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. Or you may find that when this person is connecting with you, they're moving in a very discreet manner, or they're connecting with you in secret. Whether this is something that you're aware of, or it's something that was brought to your attention, like, later on. Nine of Cups. Secretly desiring you. This is someone who's in another situation, secretly desiring you, but feeling like they can't act on their emotions until they're out of this conflicting situation. There's a part of them that wants you to know why they are still present in a situation. There's a part of them that wants you to know that they are only feeling emotionally connected to you, but they don't feel like that's the right thing to do in the current moment. And there's a lot of guilt associated with connecting with you. Like, this person may feel like I'm having to leave someone else behind, or they just feel very uneasy about the situation that they're in. Four of Cups. Yep. Not happy in the current dynamic. So I was already expressing that with the other cards, but Four of Cups is quite literally when you could be having visions of what you want and what you're desiring, but the current situation that you're in, there's a lack of interest. You could be growing bored or impatient with it. High Priestess. The Six of Swords. Yep. So not to sound too repetitive, but they are acknowledging what they need to move away from in order to be in a situation with you. There could also be an energy of, there's a lot of energies involved at once, and I want to, clear up this mess or come out of this space in order to, connect with Libra. But I most certainly see someone who is in a situation in the current moment that they're not pleased with. And they feel like until they, cut ties or until they wrap up that situation, they don't feel right expressing their emotions towards you. And they actually feel like they have to hide how they feel towards you, and they have to keep it a secret. So either the connection that you guys have right now is a secret, or even if they're communicating with you, no one else knows about it. They're not opening up about this connection with you. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck and the Hermit. Some of you could be dealing with the Virgo. Someone's wanting to break the silence here is what I'm seeing. It could even be someone who's in a period of solitude, but they're receiving some sort of clarity about you, or something that did not make sense to them in the past is making sense to them in the now. Like a breakthrough, a mental breakthrough. Okay, this makes sense, or having some sort of a full circle moment here. Okay. Someone could also feel a lot more empowered or confident about revealing something to you or confessing to you. How is this person feeling about Scorpio? Okay. We have the Three of Swords. Okay. Followed by the Four of Swords. So this is definitely someone that you're not, speaking to in the current moment. Because what I see is, this is someone who is very hurt by a separation. They're spending a lot of time in solitude. They may even feel like there's some sort of critical thinking that needs to be done, but on their own without like not wanting to feel impacted by other people's opinions or not necessarily going to other people for advice here. But the Three of Swords being the first card in their feelings is someone who feels very torn. They're feeling hurt by separation, yes, but they could also feel very torn when it comes to the situation. Did I do the right thing? Is there something more that I could do? I'm feeling very hurt, but I'm still thinking of Scorpio. And they definitely feel like the situation did not transpire the way that they thought it would. What they had in mind or what they were hoping for, it seems to me that it turned out working out kind of like in the opposite way, or so that's how they feel. Definitely impacted, or this is impacting them on a mental level. It could be someone who's really overthinking or overanalyzing the situation, but there's also a great deal of pain or hurt that they feel because of the lack of communication, or again, the fact that you guys are in separation here. Six of Cups. This is a week where this person is really, really missing you. That card could also be a very nostalgic energy where you are taking a trip down memory lane. So this person is thinking of maybe past memories that you guys have shared, promises that you guys have made to each other, goals that you guys have created together, but maybe weren't able to follow through on. But I'm getting someone who's trying to like make sense of a situation also, Scorpio, where it's like, okay, where did we go wrong? Or what could have been done differently? Or a connection that I had high hopes for, how did it just take such a left turn? They're really trying to make sense of what has happened here, and they're trying to be logical about the situation, even though they feel very hurt, because the Swords energy is more of a logical energy. It's when you're trying to make sense of something. It's not to say their emotions are not involved, but it could be that they're trying to be more logical about it, because if they were to, be completely emotional about it, they may feel like it would consume them entirely. Justice card clarifying the Three of Swords. Some of you could be dealing with a Libra, but they feel like there was a lot of dishonesty in this connection, or something just doesn't feel fair to them. Like there's a lack of balance. I wish I had the opportunity to express my side and hear Scorpio out, or, something just doesn't feel fair. This person could really want to have a conversation with you, but the way that things ended could be something that they're still feeling very hurt by. And they feel like there's a lack of balance, right? There could even be something that they want to communicate to you, but they feel like right now is not the time to do so. Or they want to heal, a part of them, or how they're feeling prior to communicating with you. But they feel very disappointed because they wanted something more with you, or what they thought the both of you were working towards, it took a left turn because of some sort of dishonesty that resurfaced here. Ten of Swords, wow. Yeah. The main thing that I see here, without sounding too repetitive, is just someone who's trying to heal from a breakup. So this separation could be very recent. It's definitely someone who still feels very emotionally connected to you, but they're trying not to feel consumed by their emotions. They're trying to make sense of it all. They're trying to operate from more of a logical perspective. Okay, well, why did this happen? What can I do moving forward? They're trying not to stay in a space where they're revisiting the separation, because it's just causing more hurt and disappointment for them. The Five of Pentacles, feeling like an outsider in your life. Again, I think that this is someone who really does miss you, but there's a strong energy of I wish that things were different, or I wish this occurred in a different way. The way that things ended specifically is causing this person to feel very, very uneasy. There could even be some sort of financial trouble or constraints that they're facing, which is kind of just adding to, the separation. So they could feel very down this week, or they're feeling very, like, a lot of emotions at once. It's a pretty heavy energy coming through here. King of Swords. This person is viewing you as, your back is turned towards the situation, or you're absolutely, at the point of no return. The King of Swords and the Justice card in reverse could be some sort of legal matters that are taking place in the situation, but they feel like it's not balanced or not fair. So something is not working out the way that they want it to, or there's a disagreement about maybe what the both of you want moving forward. Ace of Pentacles. Okay. The Two of Cups in reverse. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot of, this is what we could have had, or this is what could have been. But the reality of the situation is they feel like there's so much that has been said and done where they really don't know how to come back from it. And the Two of Cups in reverse is this person feeling like you do not feel the same way. The emotions have changed. And the Two of Cups upright speaks about mutual emotions. But in reverse, it could be, two parties that are very upset with each other and frustrated. And even though there's a sense of emotion there or a sense of missing, they don't feel like, they don't know how the both of you are going to come back together, at least not in the current energy. They're really struggling to see that. Not only are they viewing you as at the point of no return, but they're viewing the situation as very chaotic. So much has been said and done, and so much hurt has been caused. I don't know how the both of us are going to come back from that or reverse the effects of that. Okay. So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the Fool card on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Page of Swords. Seems to me that someone's very curious about you, but there could be some sort of physical distance between the both of you. Or it's like a lot of curiosity, but watching you from afar. Because I read the Page of Swords as, not the most direct energy, right? So it's, yes, there's curiosity. Yes, there's an energy of figuring something out about you or wanting to connect with you on a deeper level. But there may be certain things that they're trying to figure out on their own, right? So they're not like directly asking you. Fool card could be something fairly new. Let's see. Or it could be someone who's looking at the situation with you and they don't really have a plan in mind. They're not really sure what the future holds. How is this person feeling about Sagittarius? Okay, so we have the Three of Cups, followed by the Three of Pentacles. This is someone who wants to work together with you. They are operating from more of like a practical energy. I want to better understand Sagittarius, or I could see how the both of us could work together. But there may be some sort of conversations about finances with this person this week. That's for some of you. But with the Three of Cups, it's also an energy of wanting to spend more quality time with you. That could be when you're in the stages of dating someone, they're taking you out, or you guys are spending a lot of time together. There could even be some sort of a social event or gathering that the both of you are going to this week. And it's very visible to them in terms of, yes, Sagittarius and I can work together, but there could be an energy of I want to have a discussion or come to a mutual agreement here. Whether it's, there's differences in your lifestyle versus theirs. And then we have the Two of Wands. Yeah, there's definitely distance between the both of you. So if it's not physical, it could be emotional. But it's wanting to feel closer to you. If there's something in particular that you guys are not seeing eye to eye on, I do feel like they want to discuss that. But I also feel like this is someone who just is really craving your company or wanting to be there physically with you and spend more time with you. So, for example, with the Two of Wands, if there is physical distance, they may feel like that's what's creating a block in the both of you getting a connection off the ground here, where it's like, I want to physically relocate, or I want to, move towards Sagittarius, or make a plan where we're able to connect with each other more frequently than we currently do. Definitely wanting more consistency in this connection here. The World card, yeah. Physical distance is what I see very clearly with the World card, but I also see a lot of back and forth online communication. Whether this is someone that you've met online, or for example, it's like they could be traveling for work and that's the only way that the both of you are conversing with each other in the current moment. But I'm getting a strong energy of, I want to feel closer to you. I just want to be more consistent with you. And more specifically, this person wants to spend more quality time with you. So they want to physically be there as well, not just, communicate with you like online or via text or phone. Seven of Wands. There could even be like this person could feel like they were very defensive about opening up to you in the past, or there was some sort of a guard that they had up and they want to remove that, or they want to let go of that and fully open up to you and express how they actually feel. But I'm also getting a strong energy of someone who's very, very protective of you and this connection. So they're trying to figure out a lot on their own. That's probably why we did see the Page of Swords. It's not someone who's necessarily going to a friend or a family member for advice. It's almost like wanting to keep the situation under wraps until something actually gets off the ground with you guys. The Two of Swords. The Two of Wands and the Two of Swords could be someone who feels like there's a lack of clarity, specifically when it comes to the future of this connection. What does the future hold, right? And with the Fool card, I did mention that this is someone who feels like there's not really a plan in place. So they could be someone who's just trying to go with the flow. But I do see that they could be wanting more clarity on, what are we working towards? Do we want the same things? Is this situation going to be something that's temporarily stable, or is it something that, where we're both in it for the long haul? But Two of Wands and Two of Swords is giving me a strong energy of wanting to feel closer to you, wanting to connect with you, but they don't really have a plan in mind. They're not really fixating on a specific outcome in the current moment. So it could be someone who's just like, I'm just going to take it one day at a time. King of Wands, a lot of attraction here. Some of you could be dealing with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And I think their urgency stems from how passionate they feel towards you. King of Wands, it's an energy of heavily fixating on what it is that you desire and going for it full throttle without being impacted by the what ifs or anything else going on, on the sidelines. So you may feel like this is someone who's coming in very hot and heavy, which I do see that in their energy, but it's also someone who's more determined to better understand you and connect with you instead of just having a plan or attaching themselves to a specific outcome. Four of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles, yeah. So what I see is someone who knows they want to invest in you, but they're taking it one day at a time. There's no let's rush into this. It's like someone who's more determined to get to know you and spend more time with you and see where that goes. So I don't really see a fixed plan or someone who has like a fixed goal in mind. But the main goal right now that they have is just to connect with you and feel closer to you. So I could definitely be picking up on an energy that's fairly new, which is what I mentioned with the Fool card as we open this spread. They know they want to invest in you, and they're viewing you as someone who checks off all their boxes, but they're like, I'm not going to truly know what we're capable of creating together until I'm able to spend more time with you and be a part of your lifestyle. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Let's see. The person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, Capricorn, so we have the Ace of Swords on the bottom of the deck, and we have the Four of Cups. So, what I see here, Capricorn, is someone could be having some form of like a mental breakthrough, okay? Or something about you or the connection with you is making sense to them in the now. But this may be like there's something about it that feels very delayed or it's happening after a very long time. The reason I say that is with the Four of Cups, they're actually questioning your interest towards them, or they feel like you're not as interested as you once were. For example, if this is clarity or truth that they're wanting to bring forward, right, and feeling ready to do that in the current moment, they feel like you're no longer interested in that. Maybe something you wanted in the past is you're receiving it in the now, but you're not as, or it's not as, you're not as interested, or you feel like it's taken way too long to come in where you don't feel the same way. But I'm strongly getting someone who's like questioning your level of interest or how you feel towards them. Okay, how does this person feel about Capricorn? Okay, the Lovers. Some of you could be dealing with the Gemini. There's a choice to be made. But this person feels, here's what I will say. There is a choice to be made, but this person feels like they need to take your emotions into consideration, or they're hoping that a decision that they're making is going to impact you in a positive way as well. Wanting some sort of harmony in this connection or wanting to restore balance here is pretty much what I'm getting. This is someone who's viewing you as a soulmate, right? This is the Lovers associated with deep emotions, but it also boils down to needing to make a choice, right? So yes, they feel these intense these intense emotions, but in order to get a connection off the ground, a decision needs to be made, and they're taking your emotions into consideration here. Eight of Swords. So they feel mentally restricted, okay, or there's something in their environment that is creating a block here. Eight of Swords could even be when you're like overthinking or overanalyzing a situation to the point of talking yourself out of taking action or doing something about what you're thinking or what you're feeling. But this is a situation where even though they feel like a decision needs to be made, they also feel like their hands are tied. Now, if you're looking at this individual and you feel like, well, the ball is in their court, the Eight of Swords could also be an energy of someone who's in their own way, like a case of self-sabotage. Even if the decision is theirs, they could be either, feeding into their pessimistic thoughts, or there's some sort of a mental restriction or block that they feel. The Ten of Pentacles. So they feel that they could have had something very stable with you, but because of their indecisive behavior or because something about this connection felt very on and off, there was a lack of stability, a lack of consistency. And they're heavily thinking about you, but for some reason I'm getting a persistent energy of someone who feels powerless. Someone who feels like, well, there's nothing I can do about it in the now, or there's nothing I can say that is going to change Capricorn's mind. Queen of Cups in reverse. Okay. They feel like there was a lack of understanding between the both of you in the past, specifically in the emotional department. But I'm also getting that this person feels like you are not in a position where you're wanting to like sympathize with them. They could be wanting to open up to you, but they don't feel like you're going to be understanding towards what they're going through just because they were not understanding of what you were going through in the past. Like they're really struggling to believe that you are going to be open and willing to hear their side of things or their perspective on the situation. They may feel like they once had access to a very nurturing and caring Capricorn that was a great listener, but in the now they could feel like they lost access to that side of you. Right? And we did see the Four of Cups when we opened the spread. So, this person definitely feels like you don't view them in the same light. You don't feel the same way. They do want to confide in you, but they're also wanting you to sympathize with them. But with the Queen of Cups in reverse, they don't feel like you're going to do that. Whether it's they feel like you're operating from more of a logical perspective, or they can sense some sort of anger or frustration on your end. For some of you, this person feels like coming back around or reconnecting with you is, going to, like, something about it, it's going to be very humbling, or something about it is going to reveal something to them that they're not ready to fully accept here. They are viewing you in a very truthful energy. They could even be reminded of something that you communicated to them that you were very blunt about. Full card. Yeah, I mean, I do see they want to, take a leap of faith towards you, but I just feel like they're very up in their head. They're overthinking their every move, or they're picking up the phone to reach out to you and then saying, okay, that's not good enough, or I'm not going to do it now and I'll do it later. Like they're refraining from acting on their emotions. And I think a lot of that stems from how you're going to react. If they knew that you would be sympathizing with them, or if they knew that you would be understanding to their side of things, they would connect with you. And I'm not saying that you're not an understanding person, Capricorn, right? But what I am saying is they're sensing that you're frustrated or fed up. So they're like, I want Capricorn to react this way, but I don't think they will. And they also feel like they have taken way too long to act on their emotions as well. So if there was a falling out, maybe things have been at a standstill for quite some time, where they're like, okay, well, how do I reach out now? How do I, connect with Capricorn after, X amount of time? Death card. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. Definitely missing you, but feeling like also this connection, or what they could have had with you, they're viewing it as a missed opportunity. They feel like they need to accept an ending for what it is. This person could be going through an internal transformation. The death card could be like a wake-up call and releasing something, or releasing something, detaching from something, or even altering something about yourself. Even if it's not directly like altering it in the moment, it's being illuminated to this person. Okay, well, this is what I could have done differently, or this is the role that I played in my own suffering. The Hierophant. Okay. Yeah. Some of you could have been in a higher level of commitment with this person in the past, or they feel like that is something they could have had with you. But with the Lovers being the first card in their feelings, they may feel they mishandled the entire situation with you. They weren't making a decision when they had the opportunity to do so. But now they want to make a decision, or they want to reconnect with you, but they don't feel like you feel the same way, or you want the same things that you used to. Maybe you feel like you had no choice but move on because you weren't going to wait around for someone. But as this person's wanting to come back around, they're really doubting that that the both of you are on the same page, basically. Some of you could be dealing with a Taurus, King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. They feel like you're focused on a new endeavor or something new. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but this could even be pertaining to like your business, if you're a business owner, or your career. I also see that, guys, this person may feel like there's something pertaining to your stability that changed as soon as you started to disconnect with this person. And I see this as positive, like an increase. And they may feel like you're just fixated on what's progressing for you. And when they had the opportunity or access to the softer side of you, the nurturing side of you that was invested in focus, they either took advantage of it, or they were like taking it for granted. But they're realizing in the now, I don't think I have access to that side of Capricorn in the current moment, and I don't know if I ever will moving forward. So what I see is someone viewing this connection as a missed opportunity. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, so we have the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Some of you could be thinking of a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. And then we have the Nine of Cups, water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Someone is, it's like they can't help how they feel towards you. Like this could be a week where their emotions towards you feel very, very intense. There's a lot of passion here, but there's also a heavy fixation on you. There could be something that they're really desiring from you as well, guys. Like whether it's they're really, craving your company, wanting to be in your presence. This could be someone who is, craving physical affection as well. But it's almost like they're like hyper focused on you and wanting to feel closer to you. But I also see this as like, I don't want to say obsessing over a situation or an outcome, but a heavy fixation, or they feel like they can't stop thinking about you this week. That's what I'm intuitively picking up on. Okay, let's see. How is this person feeling towards Aquarius? Okay, so we have the Three of Pentacles. This could be someone that you work with, or they're familiar with something that you do for work. And the Strength card. Some of you could be thinking of a Leo. What I see here, Aquarius, is someone who has very deep emotions towards you, feeling very, very intensely about you or this connection this week. But I will say there's a bit of a withdrawn energy, or they're not, even if they're opening up to you and telling you how they feel, it's only to an extent. They're refraining from, opening up entirely, or there's some deep emotions and deep thoughts that they're having that they're not revealing initially or right away. This person could feel like they're getting ahead of themselves, or they're wanting things to move very quickly and they're like, okay, I need to slow down here. But when I look at this card with the Three of Pentacles, I mean, the definition is wanting to collaborate or work with you, but the image is giving me an energy of like some form of resistance here. This is how I feel, but I can't, just bombard Aquarian with all these emotions and all these thoughts, or I need to take my time with opening up here. I think a part of them is very tempted to have some sort of an emotional outpour, but they're holding back from doing that, or they're refraining from doing that, is what I'm sensing here. Eight of Pentacles, wanting to prove how they feel towards you. I feel, guys, like this could be a week where this person has some sort of financial responsibilities or something that they're trying to work through when it comes to their stability. But I definitely feel like they want to prove how they feel towards you through their actions. They don't want to just tell you. And Eight of Pentacles, you could be seeing an increase in this person's effort this week. Whether it's their, taking the initiative to, or they're initiating a conversation with you, or they are communicating with you a lot more consistently than they do, or they're making plans to hang out with you and be in your presence here. And I'm getting someone who has deep emotions for you, but they're trying to make sense of these emotions. I'm also getting a strong energy of someone who feels that they need to be more practical about a situation. And they feel like once they start to just think about how they feel towards you, they feel very consumed by it. Sorry about the sirens, guys. Yeah, like suppressed emotions, or, this is how I feel, but I'm not ready to reveal it. I don't want to say that it's someone who's playing hard to get, because I do see they're showing you that they're taking a liking towards you. They're showing you that they're invested through their actions. But I don't think you know to what extent they're invested, or I think you know that they have emotions towards you, but their emotions are developing very, very quickly, and that's the part that they're not showing you. There could even be like a bit of fear, or I've never felt this way about someone before. I've never felt for someone this quickly. And so it's almost like this is a lot for me and I'm trying to make sense of it all. Some of you could be dealing with the Pisces. The way that you make this person feel, Aquarius, it's very otherworldly, or it's something that they feel like they have not experienced before. They view you as a very intellectual individual, someone who has a deep understanding, maybe even about topics that they feel like a lot of people do not have a clear understanding of. So there could be something that they're confiding in you about, or they feel like you are just someone who's very knowledgeable and they look up to you, or they're wanting some sort of advice from you. I'm picking up on that as well. Like the way you maneuver or navigate situations could be something that they admire. And they're viewing you as someone who has more control over your emotions than they do this week. They could even be wondering, is Aquarius feeling this deeply towards me? Are they thinking about me as much as I'm thinking about them? Or is it just going on my end? Queen of Pentacles, viewing you as worth the investment. That's what I see. And the Queen of Pentacles is this person viewing you as you tick off all their boxes. They could feel like you're a very stable individual. You're very independent. You have a great head on your shoulders. And the way that you communicate or the way that you're able to work through issues or obstacles is something that this person admires. You guys could be dealing with an earth sign. Yeah, it's like, but there's something here that feels very unexpected. Either they, like, even if they were initially attracted to you, they could have not expected to fall for you as deeply as they are, or how they feel in the current moment is not something that they expected. Some of you could be dealing with a Scorpio. Connecting with you almost, it kind of changed things in their life, or it's almost like a shock factor, feeling a bit startled, or I didn't expect this, and how do I handle this, or how do I react to it? And I think that's why they're taking a pause, or they're opening up, but they're also taking their time with things. They're not doing anything impulsively. Six of Wands. I feel like this person's going to give you a lot of attention. Someone here could be in the public eye. Justice card in reverse, okay. So there's a lack of balance, or it could be someone who feels emotionally unbalanced, they feel like there's an emotional imbalance. Where are we on the same page? Or I'm feeling consumed by my emotions, but does Aquarius feel, the same way towards me? Some of you could be dealing with a Libra. Three of Cups. What's the Three of Cups? The Seven of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So what I see here, guys, is like this person could be viewing you as someone who receives a lot of attention, or, you do have a lot of options here, and something doesn't feel fair to them. I will say that, okay? Or whether it's I want to connect with Aquarius, but I'm not able to feel I'm not able to be there physically, right? There's definitely a block that they feel, but with the Three of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and the Ace of Wands here, not only is this a desire to get something off the ground with you, there's some sort of suspicion that they want to clear up. Whether it's, they want to know if you're involved elsewhere, whether it's someone who has trust issues because of their situations in the past here. What's the Ace of Wands? The Queen of Swords, having a hard time reading you. For others of you, this is someone who feels deeply connected to you, but the reason why they're taking their time with opening up is you guys could share a past where things were not balanced, where there was a lack of harmony, there was a lack of understanding. And even if it's someone who's, coming in and wanting to work something out with you and feeling like, you are worth the investment, they may feel like your back is turned towards a situation, or you are still upset about something that happened in the past. Because a persistent message that I'm getting here is, they're feeling these emotions, right? But they don't know if you are. And they did not expect to feel this way. So again, it seems to me that there is history here, but when I say their emotions are unexpected, I could also read it as someone who possibly felt like they were able to move forward from this situation and not think of you again. They did not expect to return, or expect these emotions to be so intense to the point where they're planning this return or wanting to reconnect with you. But they also don't know what to expect moving forward in terms of your reaction or how you're going to perceive them. Okay? So that's what I'm getting for you guys. Moving on to Pisces. Okay, Pisces. So the person on your mind and their current feelings towards you. Okay, guys, so we have the Eight of Cups on the bottom of the deck and the Emperor. Okay. What I see here, guys, is like This is definitely someone that, has walked away from the situation, or there's emotional distance between the both of you. But I also see someone who's still paying attention to you. But here's what I will say, Pisces. It is someone who walked away from you, sure, and it's someone who's paying attention to you, but there's a sense of control here. Whether it's they feel like opening up emotionally, they're viewing it as a weakness, or this is someone who struggles with vulnerability. It could be someone who's focused on you, but they want something to work out in a specific manner. There's a sense of control is what I'm picking up on. Could even be someone who's attached to a specific outcome when it comes to this situation. Okay. How does this person feel about Pisces? Some of you could be dealing with an Aries, okay? We have the Page of Swords and the Temperance in reverse. So some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Yeah, so someone who's watching you from afar, but they feel like there's a lack of balance in the current dynamic. Something either doesn't feel fair, or they feel like it's like an energy of things feeling very one-sided, wanting to restore some sort of balance in this connection. I'm also strongly getting here, guys, like this person is acknowledging, why the both of you walked away from each other, or even if it was their decision to walk away. It's not about whose decision it was, but they're acknowledging why the separation occurred, right? But there's also acknowledging that they're still very fixated on you, and they're still wondering what's going to happen next. So even if they walked away from the situation, they still feel emotionally connected to you, or it doesn't feel over for them emotionally. Whether it's they're anticipating for something to happen, or they feel like there's unfinished business between the both of you. The Ace of Pentacles, which is a desire for a new beginning, but more specifically, it's a desire for things to feel more stable between the both of you, which is what they feel like was, lacking in the past here. Now, Pisces, I also feel that this is someone who could feel when they were connecting with you, they did not give you their undivided attention. So there could have been distance, whether it's, for work purposes, that sort of thing, or it's someone who was giving to this connection when it was convenient for them, but there may have been other things that they were giving their attention to, or other things that they felt consumed by. And I'm strongly getting someone who's trying to figure you out. There's a level of curiosity, but they're not being direct with you. Whether it's they're asking mutual friends, or it's just an energy of spying or keeping tabs on your, social media and that sort of thing. The Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Wow. Well, I mean, needless to say, you have someone here who doesn't want to be on their own. They may have felt that choosing to be on their own, or choosing their singlehood over a connection, felt right in the past, but they're reevaluating that decision in the now. Right? Nine of Pentacles upright is a very independent energy. It's someone who's enjoying their singlehood. So in reverse, I could read it as, there could have been some sort of codependency issues in this connection, but I'm specifically getting that this is someone who doesn't want to be on their own, even if that felt like the easier thing to do in the past. For example, if there was a disagreement, they may have felt that instead of finding a solution for the disagreement between the both of you, it felt easier to walk away. But as they were walking away or detached and they've had time to think about it, they're like, I'm still thinking about Pisces. I'm still thinking about the connection that I share with them. So was choosing to be on my own the right decision? Because I'm not happy on my own. I was happier with Pisces. So you have someone who wants to come back around, but I'm also intuitively picking up on like a sense of control, or struggling with opening up emotionally. It could even be someone who feels like, yes, I want to come back around, but that would mean that I would be coming back around with my, tail between my legs. And there could be something that feels a bit embarrassing about it, or there's a level of shame that this person feels. But what I see is someone who regrets choosing to be on their own. And someone who does not regret being, or someone who regrets, Yeah, making that decision, but someone who's not enjoying, being on their own, enjoying this separation, even though they felt like that is something, or that they were making the right decision in the past. Okay. Six of Pentacles, wanting to invest in this situation. This could be a kind gesture, okay? It could even be someone who's gifting you something. But what's interesting is the Six of Pentacles is clarifying the Temperance in reverse, which means they're aware that there was a lack of reciprocity in the past. And what they're focused on now is equal give and take between the both of you. So you have someone here who knows they were not giving to this connection as much as they were receiving from it. You do have someone who wants to come back around, but they may have a very specific outcome in mind. Or there's something that they're struggling to let go of. It's not really like I'm just going to go with the flow kind of energy. It's like, well, this is what I want to occur, or this is the plan that I have in mind. I also feel like a part of them could be fearing rejection. Queen of Wands. Some of you could be dealing with the fire sign. I did mention Aries earlier, so Leo, Sagittarius. Still very attracted to you. The passion is there. The urgency to reconnect is there as well. But they do feel like they were very possibly careless in this situation in the past, or they mishandled the situation with you. Knight of Pentacles. So you have someone here who's creating a plan to move towards you. Now, this is all about perspective. If you have a specific plan in mind, maybe that's something where you feel like you guys are going to clash, right? But if it's just about this person coming forward or wanting to invest in you, I do see that. But I'm also getting a strong energy of they have a very specific way that they want things to occur. And this could have been something that caused a disagreement between the both of you in the past as well. Some of you could be dealing with the Taurus, the Chariot, Cancerian energy, wanting to see progress, wanting to move forward with you, okay? What's interesting here, guys, is like with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, this person doesn't truly believe that something is going to work out in their favor. Now, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the pro of the card is a stagnant or fixed energy is coming to an end. So the delays are over, or a waiting game is over. So I do see progress with that card in reverse, and the Chariot also, right? Because the Chariot speaks about, forward movement, usually after some form of acceptance. But there could be a little bit of resistance when it comes to maybe how you want things to progress versus how they want things to progress. That's the only thing that I see that may cause a bit of a disagreement, or you guys may not be on the same page when it comes to that. The Wheel of Fortune, we have the Three of Wands in reverse and the Tower. So they're having a wake-up call there, and I could even read it as someone who's waking up to this connection, but they're not necessarily sure what the future holds. Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. And I see an energy of, I want things to feel more balanced, or I want to, reconnect with Pisces. I feel like I made the wrong decision. But are they positive of how you're going to receive this? No, there's a lack of clarity. There's a bit of confusion here. And it could also be someone who is reaching out to you in a very unexpected way. But I also feel like the realization that they're having with the Tower and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse is also very unexpected. Because you have someone here who feels like I made the right decision, and I did not see myself, a few weeks or a few months down the road reevaluating that decision, but here they are, right? So it is causing a level of confusion for them. And it's a very unexpected energy. Okay. So that is what I'm getting for you guys this week. I really do hope you were able to find a message that resonated with you here today. And thank you so much for your time.